That is right. It's time to power up our community call. This is the Microsoft 365 and Power Platform community call covering Copilot, SharePoint, Power Apps, and more. Today is February 26th, our last community call of the month. My goodness, where does time go? Well, it flies when you're having fun. My name is David Warner. I am your humble host for today. Let's talk about what we're going to talk about today. We're going to have the latest updates on community. We're going to talk about the Copilot prompt of the week, see some updates on .NET libraries, and talk a little bit about PowerShell. And then we've got a plethora of samples, script samples, Copilot Pro Dev samples, Power Platform samples, and of course, we've got updates on our newest initiatives, just newest to the calls, really, but they've been around for so long. Community Days and Maturity Model for Microsoft 365, and then everyone's favorite time, picture time. So we'll turn those cameras on a little early to warm up Teams and get it ready. And then, of course, the reason we're all here are three amazing presenters of the day. Nello is back. He's going to be talking about testing the Copilot Retrieval and search APIs with SPFx. Ramin's going to cover Azure AI Model Router, when dynamic model selection actually makes sense. Awesome stuff. And then Michael, first timer, I believe, to the call. Welcome, Michael. He's going to cover how to call Power Automate from the ribbon in my model-driven app. So we've got a wide spectrum, a cornucopia, if you will, of awesome information. But first, let's talk about some resources that are available to each and every one of you. If you're new, these might be completely new to you. Shocker, right? But we've got our Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel. This is where things like this call and all the demos, along with other videos from the community and Microsoft, get put to be shared with the entire world. And YouTube is constantly telling us, hey, you know what? You post a lot. You'd get better numbers if you don't. Post less. So we're like, forget it. We got too much amazing stuff. So there is new videos coming out almost every single day, sometimes multiple times a day. So what we recommend is go subscribe, punch that subscription button, smash that like button on some of those videos. Let those content authors know that you appreciate what they're creating so that we can continue to share more. I've got our LinkedIn group for discussions, open source tooling, sample galleries, but you don't got to remember all those URLs, just one ak.ms/community/home or our fancy top-level domain, community.ms. And if you're here, probably means that you like community calls. So do we. So we've got more for you. We've got our Tuesday community call, our my goodness, I can't speak today, everybody. Tuesday community call with Microsoft speakers. So this is hosted by Microsoft. It is put on by Microsoft, and it includes all those product managers, program managers that are helping build and craft the amazing technology that we use each and every day. That is every Tuesday. And then every Thursday, you're here now, is where you will find the Microsoft 365 Power Platform Community Weekly call. Both of these are weekly, and they are always on the calendar. We are there for you every single week. And so be sure to get those on your calendar. We've also got our monthly Power Platform call, the third Wednesday of every month. Just had that last week, so we look forward to having it again next month. And our monthly Office add-ins. You can get the invites for all of these at aka.ms/community/calls, and I encourage you to maybe go get those because some of them had refreshed because we did move our community calls from this whole kind of bi-weekly cadence where it was two different topics, but it was weekly, but it was bi-weekly, confusing. We've got a new singular invite out there. Might be easier for you if you go delete some of those that you're like, I don't know, I see multiple calls on the same day at the same time. I don't know what's going on. Go delete them, download the newest, you'll be good to go, I promise. Now, let's take a look at the agenda for that Tuesday call. Coming up on the 3rd of March, Sebastian Livert, as we all know him, is going to be here talking about introduction to declarative agents for Microsoft 365 Copilot. And of course, the one and only April Dunham will be there with us talking about using Microsoft 365 Copilot in Power Apps. So again, love to see all this technology used together. Make sure you get that invite on your calendar and be there to take part in all the amazing technology and the hard work that they put into sharing with you. And if you're watching and you hear me say, hey, this is a first-time presenter today, and you think, does that mean I could be a first-time presenter? Woo! Woo, yes, you absolutely can. So we invite you to please, please, please fill in this form. Let us know that you would like to be a presenter. Tell us what you want to talk about. And if you're thinking, but I already heard someone say something about this on a call like last year, that's okay. Some people hear different things from different people, and you shape it, and you craft it, and you tell it in a different way. It's going to be great. And if you've never done it before, please let us know. We're happy to buddy up with you. You're welcome to present. Don't overcomplicate it. It doesn't have to be rocket science. If you're passionate about it, others will be too, for sure. Okay. And if you're seeing all the things today that you're going to hear about, things like, I don't know, sample repositories that live in GitHub, SharePoint Hackathon, where you contribute via GitHub, or if you're going to hear the word GitHub and you're like, I don't know what that GitHub thing is, Sharing is Caring is here to provide that hands-on guidance. And these are sessions that we're getting crafted. And this one right now, we're setting up for next week, and over the next couple of weeks are going to be office hours based for the hackathon. Because it is submitting through GitHub, it's a pretty simple process, but you might have questions. So we want to set up some open office hours for you just to come in, ask questions, and if not, we'll chat together. That's okay too. So be on the lookout at aka.ms/sharingiscaring. That will get scheduled by the end of this week for those sessions, and you can join in those office hours at any time. And by the way, when you do contribute to things like the hackathon or a Sharing is Caring contribution session, you are going to get recognized. Our recognition program is still alive and well, and it is super cool, and it is here to provide that level of recognition to you in a formal and accredited way using these awesome Credly badges. So they are back for 2026. We've got all these updated ones for 2026 and the hackathon badge. Woohoo! So you can get that badge by contributing and participating in that hackathon, which we highly encourage you to do, because guess what? You don't have to be a developer. You'll hear more about that soon. But we do need you to opt in for the recognition program. Just got to do it once. Don't got to do it every single year. Just once, and we'll track it, and you'll be good to go. And speaking of other amazing events, we've got our Agents League still going on. It's finishing up this week. So Battle 3, the AMA, is today at 9 a.m., 1 hour after when this call ends. So you can join, and it's going to be on Discord, which you can see with those links, and I'll make sure to put them in the chat for you. But if you want to, you can go rally everybody on and root them on, have a lot of fun. It is a wonderful community initiative that the team in Microsoft is putting on. So highly encourage you to get involved, even if you're just shouting from the stands, right? Letting everybody know you appreciate them, and go, go, go. So awesome stuff. And then also, I don't know if you heard, SharePoint is celebrating an anniversary. What do you say about that?
Yeah, wowee.
Wowee.
Do I need to say something else? Wowee.
I mean, that's
SharePoint
enough,
is turning,
right?
Yes, absolutely. So SharePoint is turning 25 on next Monday, on 2nd of March at 9 a.m. Pacific. We will have a live stream in YouTube, a lot of and a live AMA. I will be there. Jeff Deeper will be there. There will be a lot of other people in that live event. So that's going to summarize and show you all of the latest upcoming or to just released capabilities, which are coming on next Monday. So a lot of cool stuff getting announced on SharePoint on that event. Now, we start also a worldwide hackathon on March 2nd, which is basically that event is the kickoff for the hackathon. And you are able to then submit based on the new capabilities as well. That hackathon is 2 weeks. There's 6 different categories. Some of the categories are just, UX design, or the best looking UX portal, best looking mobile experience. Maybe that gives you an indication that we'll announce something on mobile on Monday. Don't miss out. See you next week on that Monday event and in those live streams on the hackathon as well. Again, 6 categories, submission categories, 6 live stream with live AMA with all of the crew members as part of the hackathon. So check out. We'll be there.
Absolutely. Yes, we will be there. Yes. All right, let's get our cameras turned on so that teams can get the digital wires all primed and ready to go for together mode. And then we'll move into our project specific updates. So Gautam has some updates for us. Actually, I got some updates for us on the community blog first. We got some blogs out there by Josiah, Sai, and Asaya on OneDrive versus SharePoint, making Copilot chat work for you, building a hierarchical quick links web part with SPFx. And you may be thinking, well, how do I become part of this collection of authors on the blogs? Well, you just go write it. So we've got some guidance for you there on how to do that. And you may be thinking, well, isn't that just for like the community team? No, you are part of the community team. So you can absolutely contribute, even if it's already on your blog. It is okay. Multicast it onto our blog, and you'll get more. You'll get double the audience, right? So it's a great way to get involved. So do not hesitate. And speaking of other opportunities, Tom Daly, my good friend, what do you got going on in community events?
Thanks, David. We got a lot of stuff going on here. Again, more features being rolled out. So a lot in development actually, and so we just released a few little tweaks to it. We're working again on the sponsor applications to reuse sponsor applications, make it easier for sponsors to apply and reuse their applications, and then organizers copy it. And then also postpone and cancel events. Microsoft team still working on an NL web and enhance it. We're going to be adding like an AI chatbot. So that's all coming. We're just testing. And again, thanks to all of our contributors for this month. The feedback is very helpful, letting me know when things go wrong, being the eyes and ears. So I appreciate everybody that has helped in the past month. If you're looking to help out, you can sign up on the tech and tools at the bottom in the green box. You can click that. Or if you need to reach out for anything, feel free to join the Discord and ping me on there.
Awesome. Great stuff, Tom. Thank you so much for all the dedication there. Another amazing initiative is the maturity model for Microsoft 365 with Mark Anderson.
Hi there. I always feel like I need to make my slide more cluttered so that I match Tom's. So, you know, we need to get as much information density as we possibly can. Maturity model for Microsoft 365 is part of the Microsoft 365 community docs. Don't want to not talk about them. It's the surrounding area on learn.microsoft.com that we've embedded the maturity model, but the maturity model seems to be an area where people have a lot of interest. Want to make sure you check out both. The maturity model is all about helping you make better use of the Microsoft 365 platform by having a framework with which to sort of compare where are we and where do we want to be. All of those competencies going down the middle in purple are there for you to sort of gauge your maturity on. And then we have lots of other supporting articles as well. The security competency will be presented on March 17th. So that is coming up. It will move from light purple to dark purple sometime between now and then. We had a great AMA on February 17th, and I'd encourage you to watch that recording. We had a lot of really interesting questions, topics covered. It was very much a free-form conversation. We have the next handful of calls coming up. You can see what the topics are and who the presenters are. Sorry about the formatting, Tracy. And I think that'll be some exciting stuff to talk through. You see that we have some latest updates. We're always updating these articles, always trying to keep them fresh, make sure that people's thoughts are represented. Lots of links down there at the bottom for you to follow. And hopefully you can join us on a practitioner's call coming up soon.
Awesome stuff. Thank you, Mark. Really, really great stuff. And those calls are a fantastic resource, everybody. So make sure you get in there. A lot of collaborative opportunity. They are live. So super cool, super cool. Thanks, Mark. Okay, another initiative is our Copilot prompt library. So this is one of the easier ways to get involved, everybody, because it is something we're all doing every single day. So as you define and find a different prompt that you find useful, share it with the world. And again, if you're unfamiliar with GitHub, be on the lookout for those sharing is caring sessions, or just reach out. We're happy to help out on ad hoc as well. And once you contribute, it might become the prompt of the week. So this Socratic tutor agent created by Jay, and so it is. I won't read the whole thing, but an expert educator who guides learners. Super cool. Again, there's so many ways in which we can utilize these Copilot initiatives and in investments and all of that stuff. So definitely take advantage of it. Great job. Thank you so much. All right, .NET Libraries, got him. What do you got for us?
Hey, David, thanks. In the PNP.NET libraries, we have a new team forming on, and we have quite a few updates here. So in the PNP framework, we added support for .NET 10. It was long requested, and now it's there in the nightly builds. Go check it out. What else? There were quite a few improvements to the team and the team's tab provisioning. Same goes for lists and the list item extraction in the PNP provisioning. There is also a better error handling for some app-only scenarios. Besides that, the US government cloud, if you are a user of that, we fixed the managed identity issues as well. So yeah. And same goes with PNP Core as well. So we also added .NET 10 support there, and do check it out. And if you are new to certain issues, do let us know on GitHub. Thanks.
Awesome stuff. Over to PowerShell. And hey, I think got him. Back to you.
Thanks, David. Again, in the new PNP PowerShell, yeah, we got like, I think 12 new commands that we added here. So quite a few of them are now part of the nightly builds. So they are related to the search vertical and the search vertical order related stuff. Besides that, we also have new commands for the search result types and the result type rules as well. So do check them out in the nightly builds. There is also a new command as well to fetch the certain site connections for search verticals as well. Yep, and the fix that we did in the PNP framework for US government cloud managed identity. We fixed that as well. And there were quite a few other minor bug fixes and improvements. And if you run into certain issues, do let us know. A new signed build for the 3.2.0 is coming super soon. I hope so. So, yep, keep an eye out on the PNB blogs for that. Thanks.
Awesome.
Over to you, Dave.
Cool. Awesome. Thank you. Got him. All right. Paul's not here today, but he wanted me to say that he loves samples, and script samples are another easy way to get involved. We all have utility samples, so please reach out to Tom. Yeah, why not Tom? You're going to handle it from here, right? Paul, reach out to Paul and let Paul know that you'd love to contribute. You've got something cool. There are some new badges available for you. Those say 2025, but we already got them updated for 2026, so you will be on the lookout for those 2026 versions coming out soon, and definitely reach out to Paul. And the same goes for Copilot Pro Dev Samples. He is in search of a new sample that he would love to highlight. So please, if you are interested or have an idea, definitely go out there and submit, or just ask for help as well. Absolutely welcome to ask for help. And then Power Platform samples are here too. We've got almost 300 samples, so would love to see you all helping contribute, get us to that 300 level. This covers the whole spectrum of Power Platform, so there is a ton of opportunity there. It could be a simple snippet, it could be a complex snippet, it could be a component library, it could be all kinds of stuff. So do not hesitate. All right, well, what time is it? You're just a minute over time, so we are going to turn on our cameras if you don't already, and we are going to start doing our together mode here. So I see some more cameras getting turned on. I will start up the record button on Camtasia. I see some cameras coming up. Good, great, good to see, got them. Alrighty. I'll move that off. We'll give it just another second. Vesta's warming up. I see Michael. I see Nello. I see some dancers. Awesome stuff. Great. We'll give it just one more second. Ooh, I still see some cameras turning on. Good stuff. All right. Excellent. I see Nicole in there. Good to see you again. Awesome. She's dancing away. All right. We got the team here. Okay. Let's give it a countdown, everybody. See Tom. 3 and a 2 and a 1. Woohoo! Great to see you. Wowie! Great to see you all. Thank you again so much for all that you contribute to this community. We would not have these initiatives or opportunities without the passion and dedication that you show up every single day. So thank you. You are amazing and fantastic. So we appreciate it. We'll get those shared out on the socials, and please do continue to help us share them so others can be part of this community as well. Well, what time is it now? It is time to transition over to our amazing presenters of the day. So we are going to start out with Nello, who's going to discuss testing the Copilot Retrieval and Search APIs with SPFx. Nello, feel free to take it on over.
Okay, do you hear me? Everything okay, great.
Yep, looks good.
Yeah, so hello everyone, and greetings from the sunny Switzerland, like most of the world today. My name is Nello. Today I want to show you something a bit to explore the new Copilot Retrieval and Search API. I built an SPFx web part that let you test these APIs. So I work for a company, developer. It's an insurance company called Mobiliar in Switzerland, part of a small team, and we mainly use SPFx, TeamsFX, and Azure. So the agenda for today, we start with my motivation, why I felt the need to build this web part in the first place. Then I will go through the APIs themselves, a little bit about the semantic index, the retrieval API, and the search API, and explain how they differ. And I will share my key finding, especially around this non-determinism, which was an eye-opener for me. So as a developer, I am still fascinated by how far search has come with RAG. So in our company, we are using extensively PNP modern search. We have about 10 search center, and also in my young year, I developed a search engine, so it's always be a passion for me. So as soon as these APIs became available, I wanted to experiment with them and not just read the documentation, but see what happens when I send a different query, how they behave with multilingual content. And I started implementing this tool to experiment with that. Foundation of this API is the Microsoft 365 semantic index, and unlike traditional SharePoint search, which uses keyword matching. We test some stemming and so, but it's not so powerful as the semantic index. It understands the meaning, so we can ask questions or even misspell words, and those are found. And from building the web part, my key observation is that there are not just semantic index. We have AI capabilities which appear to be embedded in the retrieval pipeline itself. And Microsoft states that the index understands context and intent and performs query transformation before searching. So identical queries can return slightly different result on repeated code. The two APIs represent different level of AI processing. So the Retrieval API returns an ordered text extract with relevant scores, and it does not generate answers. So you will have to bring your own answer post-processing if you want to present this accordingly to the user. The Search API is an hybrid search combining semantic and lexical approaches. It returns ordered document or pages with pagination and iterating. And the key difference is also in filtering. So the Retrieval support KQL on multiple property, and Search is only support path filtering. And this is probably the most important thing I want to share. So until now with SharePoint Search and Graph Search, we were accustomed with deterministic system, and the same query now Azure did return same results, and with this new API that's no longer the case. So in my testing, the same query could return different results, scores, or ordering. That's not a bug. That it appears to be how AI augmented retrieval works. So understanding and accepting this is essential before building production solution. It changes how you think about caching, testing, and what we promise to our user in terms of consistency. So what the web part basically does, which I will showcase afterwards, is it has a tab for each API, plus a little log viewer. And in the Retrieval tab, you can control every parameter, data source, result count, KQL filter, and metadata field. And the Search tab gives you the hybrid search capabilities with pagination. And for the log viewer, it logs every API call with timing and payloads. And the metadata picker dynamically discover managed property from the tenant. And this is something I borrowed from the great PNP Modern search solution. So we have the same functionality here. There's a quick comparison, SharePoint Search, which we know and use for 25 years in the next couple of days, is keyword-based and deterministic. And the Retrieval API brings semantic understanding, but appears non-deterministic in my testing, and it's also limited to 25 results. The Search API adds hybrid search with pagination, but only support path filtering. So I will now switch to the code and show you the web part. So I will show you here basically how the retrieval is done for this managed property. And that's a little trick which I borrowed, as I said before, from the PNP Modern search. So it generates a search query where it gathers all the managed properties. So it gets up to 50,000 properties, and it gets one row from the SharePoint search, and that's how this property selection works in the web part. So I will now switch to the web part. So our approach, this whole testing for the Copilot Retrieval and Search API, I did generate some documents. These are documents about animals, but also about technology. And then I tried to understand how the both API behave in those cases. So I have also multilingual document here. And this is the web part. So you have here the Retrieval API tab. I have the Search API tab. And when I do some search, I will get logs. I can show that in short. So I can, for example, here in the Retrieval API, I can search for, I am looking for animals from the jungle. And then I say search, and it will show me the results. So it doesn't retrieve all the animals from the jungle, because basically I would have expected that all the language would have been retrieved, but that's such a great start, because I've inputted a language, a natural language query, and it retrieved me those results. Then I can show here, I can have here select some data source, how much result I want. I can also say here, I want, this is the function I've shown before in the web part. I can also show I can have multiple property which are selected. Then if I search for the same here, I will get those property here, display and created by, that's those which I have selected. And I also have here the results. I can compare the request, and this is the raw response which I get from the Retrieval API. So there are some editing which are done from the code here, and it's explained in the GitHub repo. The heat highlighting is not done in this case from the Retrieval API, but it's something which is done from the web part. So it's not exactly the hit which was done by the Retrieval API. So if I take the same here, search query, and I put that in the Search API, then I will get no results. So the experience is a bit different, but I can remove that here. And let's see what happens here. And I get some results here for that. And what's incredible is I can do, for example, here, aminals also, I think. And then I get also, because I've misspelled this word, I get some results. So can also say here, don't write that like that. We all know how SharePoint is spelled. But I can search for SharePoint at TypeScript with the Search API, and it's very great at finding some stuff. And it retrieves and gives me the result for this document. Then you have here for both tabs, you have sort of an example. These are injected from your tenant, so you don't have to write this. And for the Retrieval API, you also have much more of this example, because we have more possibility here. So you can take this one and try this in the search. So back to my presentation, and so what I think is this web part is developer tooling. So it is done to test both API, and together they can be combined to do new search experience in SharePoint and Microsoft 365. Maybe we should add some GPT processing on top to re-rank, translate, or summarize, or do some reasoning around the result which we gather. But we have all the tooling with SPFx and Azure to do that. That's all. Thank you very much. And back to you, David.
Awesome, Nello. Very, very, very cool stuff. Got some links there as well. So I put them in the chat, and I will put them into the show notes as well. But really cool. I love how you showcase, by the way, Nello, the use of these two things together, right? Because a lot of times we think or feel like it's one or the other, and really you've showcased how they are stronger when they're used together. And so utilizing SPFx along with the different AI models and all that, really cool stuff. Thank you. And hey, by the way, for what it's worth, I thought the wild animals was appropriate because, you know, sometimes new technology feels like you're taming a wild beast, right? So this sample data of animals was perfect. All right, let's move on to Ramin, who's going to be talking about Azure AI Model Router, when dynamic model selection actually makes sense. So Ramin, feel free to take on over and
Sure.
show us what you got.
Let me share my screen, and please let me know if you can see the screen.
Yep, looks great. Take it away.
Perfect. Hey everyone, thank you for joining. Today, we're going to look at Azure AI Model Router, specifically when dynamic model selection actually makes sense and when it doesn't. So a little bit about me. My name is Ramin Ahmadi. I'm a developer architect at Advania UK. Focus on Azure, AI, Microsoft 365, SharePoint, and all Microsoft-related technologies. I build AI-powered Microsoft 365 solutions, and I've been contributing to the PNB community with samples, scripts, and as a speaker. I write blog posts covering AI, Azure, M365, and SharePoint. So feel free to check out my blog and follow me on Twitter, GitHub, and Twitter. First, here's basically what we will cover in the next 15 minutes. First, we will look at why using one model for everything is a problem. Then I will explain what model router actually is, the architecture, the 18 models available, and the routing modes. Then the fun part, I will switch to the Azure portal and show you how to deploy it live. After that, we will walk through my .NET code and run it against 4 different scenarios to watch the router make real-time decisions. And finally, the stuff I wish someone told me before I ship this to production, gotchas, lessons learned, and key takeaways. So let's dive in. So here's the problem we all face. How many times you've ever asked yourself, which model should I use for this? Look at these 3 scenarios. If someone asks what is 2 plus 2, and you route that to GPT 4.1, you're spending 50 times more than you need to. That's like booking a private jet to go across the street. Flip side, someone uploads a 40-page contract for analysis and you route it to GPT 4.1 Nano. You will get garbage, too weak for that task. And third one is the sneaky one, complex supply chain optimization routed to GPT-4 or Mini. It will give you an answer, but it won't reason through the constraints properly. So the real cost here isn't just money, it's maintenance. If you try to build routing logic yourself, you're writing a classifier, maintaining a model mapping table, and updating it every time Microsoft drops a new model. That's a nightmare. But what if Azure could just pick the right model for each query automatically? That's exactly what Model Router does. So let's look at this flow. Your app makes one API call, the exact same chat completions API you already use. That call goes to your Model Router deployment. The router evaluates the complexity of the prompt and picks the best model from a pool of 18 available models, then returns a response. And here's the key part. in the response, the model field tells you which model was actually selected. So you always know what happened behind the scenes. And if we look at these numbers, we have 18 models in the pool. We have 3 routing modes: quality, cost, and balance, which I will cover in next slides. And we have 1 API endpoint and 0 code changes. If you're already using Azure OpenAI, you literally just change the deployment name, same SDK, same code, and that's it. So let me break down what's in the pool. The November 2024 version includes 18 models across 5 categories. At the lightweight end, we have GPT 4.1 Nano, Mini, GPT 4 Mini. Those can handle simple Q&A for fraction of a cent. In the middle, we have GPT 4.1, GPT 4, GPT 5 Chat for general analysis and content generation. And for complex reasoning, we have O4 Mini and GPT-5 reasoning models. And here's a big update. So multi-provider support is a new update. Cloud, Haiku, Sonnet, and Opus from Anthropic, Grok 4 from XAI, DeepSync, and Llama from Meta. This is no longer just OpenAI. It's a true multi-provider routing layer. The November release also added custom deploy with routing modes, model subnet selection, agentic scenario support, and the reasoning effort parameter, which I will cover in the demo. As I mentioned, there are 3 routing modes. We have quality, which routes more queries to powerful models. Use this when accuracy is non-negotiable, like medical, legal, financial. We have balance mode, which is a default selection, and where I recommend you to start. That's the sweet spot between cost and quality for most applications. And finally, we have the cost mode, which aggressively routes to Nano and Mini. Only complex prompts get escalated, and it's perfect for high volume chatbots and customer support. So my advice is to start with balance, measure it for 2 weeks, and then decide where to go from that. All right, let me show you how to actually set this up. I'm going to switch to Azure Portal. Okay, here I am in Azure Portal. This is my Microsoft Foundry project. Make sure you switch to this new UI, because if you're using the classic UI, you won't be able to customize this model, and you have to go with the default option, which is balance, and is going to use all of those 18 models available. But if you need to customize it, make sure you switch to the new Foundry UI. And from here, we go to the browse models, and we're going to search for model router. There you go. This is the model router. You can see the description. These are the available models in the recent version. So you have 2 options here. You can go with the default settings, which going to be the balance mode with all of these available models in the pool. But if you want to customize it, you can just go here. So you can see you can select your routing mode. Default is balance, but you can go with quality or cost. You can select your version, and also you can tell it to use all the available models, or you can just select the subset of models. So for example, you can select only GPT-5 models, or you can exclude some of these models from this deployment. And then finally, you can just deploy it. Because I've already done that, to save some time, I'm going to escape this. All right, let me switch to Visual Studio now. Okay, this is a .NET Console app, nothing fancy, intentionally simple, so we can focus on the model router integration. Starting with program.cs, the entry point. Here is the standard .NET configuration. We are loading from app settings and user secrets. This is where our Azure endpoint, API key, and deployment name live. Nothing model router specific here. Same config you would use for any Azure OpenAI project. Then we bind the config to an Azure OpenAI config object. Again, totally standard. And here where it gets interesting. We create the Azure OpenAI client with our endpoint and API key credential. This is identical to what you would write for any Azure OpenAI app, and there's nothing new here. And here's where the magic happens. So see this second parameter? That's the name of our model router deployment in Azure AI Foundry, and that's it. That's the entire integration. Instead of passing GPT-4 or GPT-4o, we pass the model router deployment name, same client, same SDK, same everything, just a different deployment name. We also pass in the telemetry service. I will show you why that's critical in a moment. I've set up 4 scenarios, as I mentioned, basically to show how the router behaves. Scenario 1, simple questions. We expect the router to pick nano or mini for this kind of questions. Scenario 2, information lookup. This need more knowledge but are in complex reasoning. We expect mini or a standard model. Scenario 3, that's a document analysis. I'm simulating a contract review, key dates, financial terms, risk factors, and obligations. This should trigger a standard or reasoning model. And scenario 4, which is a complex multi-step reasoning. So here we have 3 products line, revenue constraints, profit margins, market saturation percentage. So this is a proper optimization problem. We expect O4 mini or GPT-5 reasoning here. And we have the run scenario method. For each query, it calls process query async, then prints the model that was used, token count, cost, duration, and a preview of the response. This is what we will see in the console when we run it. And just right at the bottom, we have display summary. After all scenarios run, this pulls the telemetry data and prints a full summary, like total queries, total cost, and estimated savings compared to a static GPT-4. This is the money slide in the console output. Now let's look at query service. This is where the actual API calls happen, and this is the file I want you to pay the most attention to. First, the constructor. We take in Azure OpenAI client, the model router deployment name, and this telemetry service. This creates the chat client pointing at our model router deployment. Again, this is the exact same get chat client call you would make for any Azure OpenAI deployment. The SDK doesn't know or care that it's a model router behind the scenes. Now the process query async method, this is core of the app. Let me walk you through that. So we capture the start time for duration tracking, and then we build our messages, a system prompt, and the user query, a standard chat completions pattern. We set the max token output, temperature, and reasoning effort level. These are passed through to whatever model the router selects. And important note here, if the router selects a reasoning model, like O4 mini, for example, the temperature parameter gets ignored. And also reasoning models don't use temperature. So bear that in mind. And the actual API call, standard complete chat async, no special method, no router specific API. The routing happens server side, completely transparent to your code. And results, the actual response text, normal. This is the most important line in the entire code base. The model property in the response tell you which model the router actually selected. So when you send a query, you don't know upfront whether it's go to Nano, Mini, GPT 4.1, or Mini, but the response tells you, and this is your window into what the router is doing. So input tokens, output tokens, total tokens, standard usage data, estimated cost, And this is where it gets interesting. If you go to the calculate cost method, because different models have wildly different pricing, you can't just use a flat rate. Look at the switch expression here. So nano models is like $0.15 per million input tokens, basically free. Mini models, they are 0.30 per million, and GPT 4.1 is around $5 per million. That's 33 times more than Nano. Telemetry service, that's the last file. So this is the simplest one, but it's what ties everything together. Now get summary method. This is what generates the console output at the end of the demo. Count of everything we processed, sum of all estimated costs across all queries, total tokens consumed, and average response time in milliseconds. And get all results, return the raw list if you need to just do further analysis. And that's the whole thing. 3 files, the Azure OpenAI SDK does the heavy lifting, model router does the routing, and your telemetry captures everything you need to validate it's working. So let's run the code. And what I want you to watch is the model use line for each query. You will see it changes as the query gets more complex. So for scenario 1 questions, you can see it used GPT-5 Nano and O4 Mini. For scenario 2 query, it used GPT-5 Chat. And for scenario 3, it should use GPT-5 or GPT-4 or Mini. Let's see, because it's a complex query, it's going to take more time. Yep, it's done, and you can see it's used GPT-5 for this. And the last one, which is a complex multi-step reasoning, are expected to use GPT-5 again, or one of the reasoning model available in the pool. And after this, we're gonna see a summary. So okay, yeah, it's done. So for the last one, again, it's used GPT-5 because it needed a reasoning model. So here you can see a summary. So this is the total cost, average cost per query, average duration. But this is the cost saving it that we can see. So if you wanted to do the same with the static GPT-4, this is the cost for you. So here we saved around like 37 for 4%, and sometimes it goes even higher to like 15%, 60%, what we saw in our production. So that's a lot of savings here. Okay, let me go back to my slides. So let me put real numbers on this. So 55% average cost reduction versus a static GPT-4, and over 50% latency reduction on simple queries because Nano is blazing fast. 18 model options, auto-selected, 0 code changes, and the bar chart tells you the story. So static GPT-4, $13 per 1,000 queries. Model router in balanced mode is $13.50. And for the cost mode is around $8. Sorry, that's real money at the scale. And the donut show you why 40% of queries go to the cheapest model. The router is smart about not overspending. Okay, what went wrong? This is the basically our experience with production deployment. Number 1, context window trap. This is the biggest gotcha. Router may select Nano for a large document. Nano has a smaller context window, as you know, so instant failure. Same document works next time because a different model gets selected. So intermediate failures are the worst kind. Our fix, so we estimated the token count before sending. If it's over 20K tokens, bypass the router entirely and use a static GPT 4.1 deployment. Number two, Quick VS custom deploy. Quick deploy gives you zero control, so fixed balance mode, all 18 models. If you want to choose your routing mode or exclude certain models, you need to use custom deploy. Number three, no telemetry, called flying blind. Always log completion.value.model, always, because we wasted 2 weeks debugging before adding this. And number four, agent service limitation. When using model router with agent service tools, only OpenAI models get selected. So Cloud, Grok, Llama won't participate. Bear that in mind. And the pro tip, build a hybrid approach. Model router for general queries and static deployments for tasks where you know the requirements up front. Thank you. That's Azure AI Model Router in 15 minutes, what it is and how to deploy it, real code, real results. All the links are here, my blog, the Microsoft Docs, the code sample. I've written 2 deep dive blog posts on this topic, and thank you so much for your time. Happy to take any questions. Back to you, David.
Awesome, Ramin. Thank you so much. This is really, really cool stuff. Great looking slides, great information. Really appreciate it. So if you have any questions, throw them in the chat. Everybody put the slides or put the links in there as well, and you'll see them in the YouTube description too. For lack of time though, we're going to move on. And so Michael, again, feel free to take your entire time. Friends, we might run a little long today, and so you can see the recording if need be. No problem. Michael is, again, a first-time presenter. Let's give him that love and support we can, and he's going to talk about how to call Power Automate from the ribbon in my model-driven app. Mike, take it away.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yep, sounds good.
Great. This demo is about calling Power Automate flow directly from a model-driven app. If you do remember, back in November, Microsoft changed the URL structure for Power Automate HTTP triggers, but the new URLs are too long for the old ribbon workbench, which we used in several occasions on our clients to call Power Automate flows directly, or for that sake, other API gateways from the ribbon workbench, or the command bar as it's called now. So today I'm showing you an alternative version. But before we get into it, let me take a moment to introduce myself. My name is Michael Nielsen. I first connected to the internet back in 1992. Before people knew what it was, I was back then experimenting with SLIP on my Amiga, but that's years before TCP/IP became mainstream. Today, I'm a senior Power Platform consultant at Abakion here in Copenhagen, where I specialize in enterprise integrations, working daily with Power Automate, logic apps, and function apps. And I would like to connect, but I made my speaking debut last year with back-to-back sessions at EPPC in Vienna and then PPCC in Las Vegas. And this year, I'm actually speaking again at EPPC here in Copenhagen, Denmark. So I hope to meet some of you. When I'm not in front of the computer, I'm a father of 2. I have been married for more than 25 years. I enjoy photography, and I'm slowly renovating my 1930s house here in Copenhagen. But enough about me. And as said before, I'd like to connect, so you can scan this or go to my website. But let's move on. Here I have a solution. It's a car database. I want to be able to sell cars. And for this, I need to show this here. All right, I'm ready. So I have a very simple solution. I have a car database that shows me some cars. I can show you the model-driven app here. Let's play it. So here I have a list of cars, and these are some cars I would like to sell. So I can select multiples, and I would like to forward those to an external seller for this. For this, I have made a flow. I have it here. So I can call the flow. This flow will get the details of the car and then forward to my provider. In this case, it's doing nothing. And then it will respond back whether or not it was successful. But let's get started on what needs to be done. First up, I have a environment variable. So I'll go to new, more, environment variable. I need to copy my name for it here. So I'll call it flow for submitting. I'll call it environment submit to reseller, and let's have a nice here, a nice description, and the data type is text. I want a value for the flow. I don't use the default value. Instead, I use the current value. I go to my flow and I copy the URL that I need here. So now I have the flow URL. It's creating my variable. Next, I need a JavaScript. So I'll go to new, more, web resource. The file type is JavaScript. I need a name. I'll call it /js/flowcaller. I want to, the reason I'm using the slashes is because then I get a folder structure if I'm looking at the files beneath. I'll call it flowcaller. Like that. And let's give it a nice description. Call how automate flow from command bar. Then I need the actual JavaScript. For this, I'll go to my website, rubric.dk, which links directly to my link tree, where you can get the code directly. So here I have the source, the flow caller. I'm copying the entire contents and pasting into the code at the top, saving. So now I have my JavaScript. I'll then go and edit my model-driven app. So here I have my model-driven app. I'll start by editing the command bar. I want to start by editing the main grid. And for this, I want my button to be, let's say, here. I'll put it here. So I'll start by adding a new button, a new command. Just to let you know, the first time you do this, you will actually get a warning. So I'll just show you what it looked like earlier. So you will get this whether or not it should add a component library. You can just select JavaScript and then move forward. It will automatically create the component library at a later point and give you this notification that it has created that. But for now, you just can ignore that. But I will make a new command. Let's see. Let's give it a label. I'll call it send to reseller. I want an icon. Forward button. I like that. The action, I want to run a JavaScript. First time you do this, there's no, I cannot see the flow caller, so you need to add library. So I'll just search for flow caller. Here I have my flow caller, and I also have my description that I added. Then I have a function name. The function name I can see here. Let's go to the raw view. The first part of it is Abakion flow caller. That's just the naming convention that I use. So Abakion flow caller. And the final part is the actual function within the code here I want to call. And this is the call flow with confirmation. So I'll copy that as well. So now I'm calling this. This action requires 6 parameters. So I'll just add those one at a time. The first is the primary control. The second is the one called, let's see here, it's called this one, selected control selected item references. The third one is the name of the environment variable. And I have it right here. It's of course prefixed by my root, because that's what I call my my supplier, and then the name of my environment variable. The fourth parameter is the text that will be shown in the confirmation dialog. So I'll put that in here. As you can see, I also have this variable that will be replaced when showing the pop-up. The fifth parameter is the text that will be shown after the cars have been submitted. And the final one is a Boolean. And for the grid view, I always have this as false. I'll come into that when I implement it on the main form. For visibility, I would like to change that to a formula. So the formula I'm using is, I have it here, count rows. And it's counting self dot selected dot all items, and it needs to be more than 0. And that will change the visibility of the button. But let's see what this did. I'll save and publish. And play. So let's see if it, sometimes you need to do an extra refresh to get the button to work. Here. So now you can see I have the send to reseller. So if I select a single car, send to reseller, confirms that I wish to send one car to the reseller. If I instead select multiple, I can send 5. And if you notice, this is called error. So I have in my flow a check. So if I send these to the reseller, I will send all 5. It will be processing. You can see that I have sent 4 cars and 1 failed. So this error failed. So if I actually look at this, I can see that it failed to submit the car, and there was a sample error response back. If I look at my flow, I have it here. I can see my flow ran 5 times. 1 of them failed. I just forced an error, but in this case, I just forced an error, throw an error, and that made the flow run with an error, and I terminated with an error. So, but I responded back with status 500, and that was necessary for me to catch the error within the application. But let's update the main form instead. So I'll go to the edit command bar, main form. I also want a button. Let's place it here. It will be before the activate and deactivate. So just like before, I'll add a command. I'll call it send to reseller, just as before. I still want an icon. There's a forward button I'll do like. The formula, just see here, on JavaScript. I want it from the library. Here, oh, didn't select correctly, like this. I will add the parameters. We have the primary control, the selected items, selected item references. I have the name of the variable here. It's a space, don't need that. For the fourth, confirm that you wish to submit this car. It's only a single car. We don't need the parameter. Car submitted. Like this. And for the final parameter, the Boolean, I'll set this as true. And I also have the visibility. I'll always show this button. So let's save and publish this. Let's play it. And we'll let it load for a moment. Let's try to open. Oh, there it is. Just waiting for the, just as in the grid view, it sometimes need to refresh a couple of times with force refresh. There we are. The last parameter you saw that I had was the true false, and that actually whether or not the timeline should be updated. So in this case, I have this timeline here. So if I send to reseller, I will confirm that I wish to submit. I will say yes. When I click the OK, it updates the timeline. So I don't need to refresh. I just forced an update of this timeline. So that's basically my demo. And as I said before, please feel free to reach out to me. I'll just show the QR code again. And that's it for me.
Michael, awesome stuff. Thank you so much for sharing. Really love the combination there again of not only utilizing a model-driven app, but showing the logic, utilizing Power Automate, using JavaScript. Woo! Absolutely love it. So, and again, excellent job. Obviously an accomplished speaker, but welcome to the community calls. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our presenters today. Nello, Ramin, Michael, y'all knocked it out of the park. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Well, just some final reminders. We have our Discord server still out there. We've got, actually need to update that, over 30,050 plus members. You could be the next. This is a wonderful way to have a one-stop shop location to discuss all areas of the community. We've got channels within there that you can chat about with other members of the community on just about anything. So check it out at aka.ms/community/discord. And then if you'd like to, we'd love to hear some feedback. If you are liking what you're seeing on the calls, we'd love to know that too. If you got some ideas for other things, we'd love to hear that. Just please try to keep it positive. And thank you. Well, the recording will be available in 24 hours or less on the Microsoft Community Learning YouTube channel, aka.ms/community/YouTube. And subscribe is the best way to be alerted as soon as it's put out there, which is usually much less than 24 hours. You could also follow us on Twitter/X, Blue Sky, or LinkedIn. We will scream from the rooftops of all those social platforms when it has been published, so you can get access to it immediately. The next Microsoft 365 Power Platform community call, which is what you're on now, 1 week from today, minus an hour, March 5th, 7 a.m. Pacific time. And then the next MS Speakers community call, March 3rd, 2 days before that, Tuesday, 8 a.m. So best way to get involved, get the agendas and the invites on your calendar, aka.ms/community/calls, and you will be alerted as soon as those calls start, so you won't forget. And of course, they're always recorded, and so you can watch them on demand. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful rest of the week, wonderful weekend. Thank you for all that you're doing each and every single day, week, month, year in this community. It would not be possible without you. Have a good one. Bye-bye.